A sudden slump in new home sales, as we understand, has renewed fears of a double-dip recession. Sales of new single-family homes slid 12.4% in July. That's the lowest level on record, according to the Commerce Department. Kim Laforet is here from Coldwell Banker Hubble Briarwood in our Gillespie Group storefront studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning, MPS. How are you this morning?
Well, I'm just disappointed about this slide in new home sales. Is that what you're experiencing in your efforts?
Well, it's interesting because our sales are actually stable here in the greater Lansing area.
Yeah?
You've got to put all this in context. To compare the month of June to the month of July is very difficult to be able to do and to be able to read anything into it. You need to look at the bigger picture. Compare June of last year to June of this year, year-to-date stats and things like that. Our year-to-date stats, we are pretty much stable. We have sold 3 less houses in the greater Lansing area year-to-date this year than we have last year. So that's a very stable market.
Does Lansing differ? I suppose it would, too, from other parts of the state.
Oh, definitely. Other parts of the state, and when we're looking at they reported yesterday a 27% decline in existing home sales.
Yeah.
That's nationally. You've got areas, I read an article yesterday in, I think it was Kiplinger from New York City, has got sales are up 9.9% on apartment buildings over there. And when sales were down 30% previous to that. So it's all relative.
Very situational then, unless you're the person trying to sell a house and then it comes
Correct.
right home.
But in real estate, everything is local, and you still need to have a roof over your head. So for people to, I think we read too much into these stats. I think we're so driven by statistics right now that we actually could push ourselves into that direction if we all say, oh my goodness, the world is crashing down, let's not do anything. And I guess I've always looked at it, and the way that I've always experienced this is that when people are looking at what the big picture is and they're holding themselves back and not doing anything, it further complicates the problem. You have a snowball effect.
Somebody walks into your office right now and says, I've got this house I want to sell. What are the first tips that you need to tell people? I mean, can they be optimistic? I mean, I guess I would ask if I were, how long do you think this is going to take?
It all depends on price, terms, and condition. Same 3 things that mattered whether we were at a very high market or at a low market like we are right now.
Is there anything you can do to set yourself apart beyond having a house that looks nice and is clean and is properly priced?
I think basically just those are the main things right there. I mean, just price it right. Any home will sell if it's priced right. Any home. And so the first question I ask them is, how much do you owe on your current house? Because if they're upside down, we need to consider, as a short sale, the right thing for you. There are options. And I like to counsel with people and say, all right, what options are available to you and what is your risk tolerance? Just like Scott Danek might do if he was sitting down talking with somebody about financial planning.
There was a time when we heard a lot about people offering incentives to go along with their house. For instance, they might include the furniture or the season tickets to the Michigan State game or whatever. Is that still happening or no?
You don't see that quite as much as you did a few years ago, or a few months ago, I should say. But those are usually icing on the cake. Nobody's going to buy a house because someone's going to throw in a big screen TV.
What do when people ask you, when you see them at a mixer or the Mid-Michigan Business Wrap or any of the other events, and they say, "What do you do?" and you say, "I'm a realtor," do they say, "Oh, geez"? How's it going?
Well, thank you for pronouncing that correctly, number one.
Yeah, why is that such a big deal, too? Realtor, not realtor.
I don't know.
They have made a big deal about that, haven't they?
It is. Realtor versus realtor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it always has been.
Because I noticed there are commercials that run, and they say realtor like 8 times. And then we had somebody from the National Realtors Association, and they told Amanda, the producer, make sure they say realtor, not realtor.
It's not every real estate agent is a realtor. To become a realtor, you have to belong to the National Association of Realty.
There's the
Realtors.
distinction.
Right,
Okay,
that's
I
the
gotcha.
distinction. So it's an ethics and code of ethics and.
But
bylaws
business
that
is
you
okay
apply.
for you?
Business is fine for me right now. Again, it's all local. And so what you have to look at is you're going to have to pay for housing one place or another. And the people that have actually made money in these kinds of markets are people that don't necessarily listen to that news that's going to be making them just feel doom and gloom and do nothing, but look at it and see if it's somehow that they can still analyze this to be able to use it to their advantage.
There are opportunities out there, says Kim Laforet, Coldwell Banker, Hubble Briarwood, and you can find her at spotlightmm.com or just Google her up. She's easy to find. It's 14 before the hour. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Terrific day.